Today I will be talking about maxims of discourse. So there are four maxims of discourse, which are maxims of quantity, maxims of quality, maxims of manner, and maxims of relation. So upon learning maxims of discourse, it made me realize and it made me reflect on interaction that I had with people since I was still a little kid. And looking back, there are several occasions or several events where I clearly violated or flouted the maxims of discourse. So, for my first experience, it would be when I was still in my third grade and I just got my result back from the teacher, and I chose to lie to my mother about the result of the examination because I didn't perform that well during the examination, and I was too afraid that she would get angry and get mad at me. So I chose to lie. At first, she just believed me and just move on with her day. However, after she found out that I was lying, get she got angry and she would later punish me because I was lying. So this action clearly violate the maxims of quality because I did not tell her the truth and I masked the truth with lies, trying to get away from her. So after that, for my second experience, it would be when I was having conversation with my grandmother, and during the conversation, I accidentally used a couple of English words, and this had left my grandmother puzzled and confused because she doesn't speak English, and this would cause him to wonder what I'm trying to say, and the information thus are being able aren't relate clearly. The information is hazy. So she then immediately asked me what did I actually mean by these words. So I had to explain to her what does this word actually means. So this action clearly violate the maxims, flouted the maxims of manners as I use ambiguous word, causing the listener to be confused and the listener having hard time trying to identify the information. So after that, for my last experience, it would be when I was still in my foundation years. One of my housemates asked me to accompany him to the cafeteria because he want to grab something for lunch. However, I deliberately chose to change the topic of the subject by saying that I had a bad day at the class. And the reason why I chose to do this because I was too lazy to accompany him because I was already lying on my bed and I doesn't really feel like moving. So after hearing my response, I can see that he being annoyed at first. However, after that, he for he forgot about his request and just move on with his day. So this act clearly showed that I violated the maxim of relation because I did not stay relevant to the topic of the conversation, which caused the listener to be confused and the conversation did not go very smoothly. So that conclude the experience that I had violating or flouting the maxims of discourse. So from this experience, I learned that I need to always be truthful, even though the truth may be painful, and I also need to avoid using ambiguous word or wordy words in order to achieve understanding between me and the listener. And lastly, I need to stay relevant on the topic of the conversation to avoid from the information being did not to avoid the information to being unrecognizable and to allow the conversation to smooth properly. So thank you. That's all from me.